are sinking.
Hello? This is the German Coast Guard.
We are sinking. We're sinking.
What are you thinking about?
Hey! Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. How are we doing? It is time. It's time for a new trial. I've been keeping this one a little bit close to the vest. Defense made a motion for a mistrial. Prosecutor was up to some fuckery. Potentially damaging evidence, no basis for it. The judge specifically said, do not ask that question. Do not use that as evidence. She walked right down the path and asked the question. It may be over on Tuesday morning. Batman Bruce Wayne bitch snitch. Gerald Brooks, your constitution does not apply to me because I'm a sovereign citizen, a traveler on the land. I'm the Moorian Empire or whatever, bitch. Because they're so fucking absurd. If you want to be a sovereign citizen, just do yourself a favor first. Go to YouTube here and just get every sovereign citizen that's ever been before. Find me one that won. God dang, you're right. Don't go down this. It's not the path. Don't have time for stupidity. Some clever dick on the internet didn't find the great loophole in all of the world's law. Bitch snitch. God dang, you're right. God dang, you're right. Traveler on the land. God dang, you're right. Moorish Empire. Traveler on the land. Bitch snitch. Moorish Empire. God dang, you're right. Traveler on the land. Bitch snitch. The late evening U.S. people. Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, everybody. Whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, whoever you're doing it with on this Valentine's Day, and however good it feels and however many times you're going to do it. I'm just glad you're doing it here, right in front of me, Legal Vices. That's me, my little old channel, Legal Vices as well. We are here. We are back after a few days of computer-induced hell. I know you were going through your Big Daddy Lorax withdrawals, but hey, we're here. We're here to spread some good old VD cheer wherever we can on this lovely VD day. Yeah, really quickly, because we got a lot of ground to cover. We got a lot of shit to get through, so we're just gonna do the house cleaning stuff here real quick. Like and subscribe, do all that YouTube shit. You know all about it. We're not going to waste a lot of time talking about that because we got a lot of time to waste on other stuff. And of course, when you're done doing all that liking and subscribing, and please, for the love of God, if you think you are subscribed, just double check to make sure you're still subscribed, because YouTube is asshole and they just sort of unilaterally decide to delete people's subscriptions because they want to. Just make sure you're still subscribed. Then take our daily lame like and subscribe poll. Today's like and subscribe poll is Valentine's Day. It's the best day ever, or it can eat a giant bag of dicks. You choose. What's your thoughts on Valentine's Day? So far, it's 73% of you says Valentine's Day can eat a giant bag of dicks. Well, that's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about love, lust, and lawsuits. How actually finding the quote-unquote partner of your dreams, the man or woman of your dreams, can lead you down the road to lawsuits, ruin, and terrible, terrible endings. So that's why we've titled the stream Love, Laugh, and Lawsuits When Love Goes Wrong. Plus, we're going to have a little Clayton Echard update here at the end. I know that's what you're all here for anyway. But so let's quickly do this. And there's one person, there's only one person on earth I could think of to join me for a happy VD day, love, laughs, and lawsuits stream where we just talk about the hazards of amore, the hazards of not keeping it in your pants, the hazards of not keeping other people out of your pants, the basest of base people, my sifu, my senpai, the reason I am here with you today, coming back after a long hiatus, wandering through the rice paddies of Southeast Asia, looking for Miss Wong, maybe finding Miss White. It is Legal Mindset. What's up, brother?
Oh, no, I'm just full of love, baby. I mean, I have not heard Big Papa Lorax before. I'm like, I haven't called you that. I don't call you Big Papa Lorax.
Well, I don't want you to call me that either.
I know you don't. But it's all good here today on VD Day. You know, we're all about giving VD to everybody, really, because you want to.
I'm full of love, but hopefully we'll get rid of that this weekend.
Yeah. And we're all about happy endings here. You know, we're all about happy endings.
That's what we hope. Yeah, we hope for the happy ending. At the end, how you doing? It's been a minute.
Dude, I'm doing good. I mean, we hung out in when I was in Korea and Itaewon, and I probably will have more excuses to be back up. And next time, I hope to visit you in Busan. And there's so many people. I just got hit up by people saying, "Oh, I'll see you in Korea," and I'm like, I'm not in Korea, but I will fly up. If you come out to see Jeff, I will come hang out with you while you're in Korea because I love it. It's great. And I know that when we first met, I think we talked about this. It's like, many people come and go, but I'm here, baby. I'm here. I am not going to the other side of the pond. You can drag me over there. And half of that is because Cupid ain't working that right over there. Cupid ain't working that right. There's some problems,
and that's what we're gonna be talking about some of that today too. And that's, I don't know if you okay. What do we got? We got 300 people here already. That is super awesome. I'm sure some of them were raids from you. If not, well, go fuck yourself. But
yeah, I mean, when you come by and you cough, and I tell you to adjust your tampon. I mean, I think they know that I'm coming out with you.
Okay, good. Well, we've got 300 people here now and only 145 likes. Half of you haven't done your job. Get over there and make sure you get down there and hit that like button because clearly you're here. Clearly there's something we like. And if you don't like me, you at least have to like Legal Mindset. For those of you who don't know, backstory, Law Rack's YouTube origin story. He's the reason I'm here. He's the reason I'm doing this thing in the beginning. I was just minding my own fucking business and meeting up with Andrew and far too many drinks.
And I guess, wait, Legal, how did you see me first? Did you actually see my channel or did you see me on somebody else's channel? Was that it?
I think I
was it on Rackets?
On Rackets on Rittenhouse.
Yeah, that was it.
And I was like, oh, another lawyer in Korea, and one that I don't know because it's a very small group of people.
Right.
Either he's full of shit, and I'm going to call his fucking ass out, or he's like the real deal. And I'm like, because there are these like the two most faked professions.
Lawyers
in Korea are lawyers and Navy SEALs.
That and honestly, that's a problem here too in Thailand with lawyers because a lot of people will posit themselves as running a law firm, but they're not lawyers at all. There's zero lawyers working there at all. There's zero people that can apply legal analysis. It's just pretty much a mill, right? So that happens a lot. It really pisses me off. But it's hard to really whack them with that because you've got to get somebody who gets pissed off and they examine it and they look at it. They ask for your credentials and then they look at it more closely. So I think people do have to be careful when they're getting lawyers abroad. Make sure they're really a lawyer.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, so I think I saw you there, and I'm like, who is this guy? I said, well, let's talk to him and find out a little bit more about him. So we started getting together, and like I said, far too many drinks and on far too many occasions and far too many bars, and suddenly doing this YouTube shit sounded like a good idea.
I'm like, you can do it. Look at it. Look, I'm like, if these people can do it and I can do it, you can do it. Because none of us are on this like mega budget here. It's like camera. In fact, you've now upgraded your equipment probably like 4 or 5 times. Right? And now you have a new computer. Right? You had to replace your computer.
Oh no, it just kind of futzed out for a couple of days. It was one of those car things where it didn't power on. Took it to the local computer place. They plugged in and went, "Ain't nothing wrong with this. What do you want us to do about it?"
That is annoying. That makes you feel like an idiot.
Yeah, they healed it with magic. So
Well, I had a situation. I had to buy a new laptop because my main laptop is having a battery issue. The battery's like bulging in the thing, so I had to buy a second one. So I now have and I got my first one fixed. So now I have a main one that is all right, and then a backup travel laptop. So it's just the part of doing this business, man. You learn more about it over time, and you get better at it. And one thing I'm really proud of, and I say this every time I come on, dude, you have really stepped it up. I remember in the beginning versus now, you run a production, and some of the best trial streams, which I so look forward to stream sniping, are yours, right? I am so ready for Sarah Boone. I'm so ready for Courtney Plenty. We're on lawyer number 8 for Sarah Boone, which God help us. Are we going to get a baker's dozen? Like, how many lawyers are we going to allow this woman to have before we finally say, let's just fucking go? Clenny will be great. So waiting for those cases. Of course, I mainly specialize when I do cases in thought crimes, right? So I think that kind of fits into today's narrative.
Oh yeah. We're going to be talking about thought crimes today. And, as they say, those who do, and those who don't snipe. Just saying. Probably the smarter one snipe. Probably the smarter one.
You mean really easily bored, right? Like I have ADHD here, and I'm like, let me just change the channel, right? Like these guests, you're going into commercials, right? Because everyone's got their equivalent of commercials. We've all got them, right?
Yeah.
Well, we're doing likes, we're doing memberships, we're doing other things, and you just flick the channel over, and you go, okay, I'm gonna flick the channel over, watch this for a bit, and come back. But honestly, you guys all do a fantastic job, and I don't watch people who do a shitty job. Everybody does a good job. It's all comparative.
Yeah. So that's how I ended up here. We were just having a lot of drinks, and suddenly it seemed like a good idea. And the night we had, it was a perfect evening we had. We were at
romantic. It was so romantic.
We were at the ranked number 39 bar on planet Earth.
Or number Earth.
That was planet Earth. Yeah, it was number 13 in Asia, I think, at that point. Number 1 bar in Korea. The being served drinks by the number 1 bartender in Asia, like where all the Asian bartenders voted this guy the best bartender in Asia. And he had 2 guest bartenders. One was from Argentina, who was just recently voted the number 4 bartender on planet Earth. And a Korean woman's living in Singapore that she just got a number 84 ranking. So we're in one of the best bars on planet Earth, being served by literally the top bartenders in the world. This amazing array of cocktails for an American Express extravaganza thing. And finally, about 2:30 in the morning, okay, I'll just go buy the computer equipment and we'll do this. And that's how I started.
Well, you got to come here because now the number 13 bar is in Bangkok. So you got to make the trip, man. You got to see it.
Yeah. and then I can't remember if the Lorax thing started on your stream or on Nick's stream. I think it was in Nick's locals.
I think it was either Nick or somebody else. But I mean, even in my stream, they were memeing you like, oh, it looks like the Lorax. And what I love is you took my advice, which is you got to just own this stuff. You can't be like super offended by it, which is, by the way, why most people don't work out long term, because they get really offended and butthurt about that. You not only owned it, you made merch, right? You leaned into it. Right. And I'm like, yes, do it. I knew, Jeff. I knew you were going to make it because you leaned into it. You leaned right into it. And I'm like, yes, that's this man. This guy gets it. Right. Other people don't get it, but you get it. I'm right. And that's the rest is history. I think your history doing background. You did radio, right? Back in the day. So I think that really helps you be really, really successful, wildly successful. And I knew you were going to be successful from the jump.
Double says it was Nick's stream. I was there. I just remember it was like someone was like, who's this Lorax? Who's this Lorax looking motherfucker out there? And I'm like, that's hilarious.
It is hilarious. It's fucking hilarious, and it's great. And your merch is amazing. So I really like the swag of it. It's your own thing. You've got a good attitude. You're positive. You're not beaten down by it. So I think your production, you're made for this, Jeff, and I'm glad you're in the game.
JKD says, what else has he gotten you to do? As he kept giving you boosts? Oh, that's the other way around. That's the other way around. And I don't know if you knew this or not, but when you were here last time, we ended up at that Irish bar. And when you eventually tapped out and left, I lost my credit card.
No, last time you lost your credit card?
Yeah, but I didn't realize it for like
the Irish girl steal it.
Well, not really. She kept it. She kept it for me.
How about the YouTuber? Did she steal it? The what 3 million, 4 million sub YouTuber?
Cunt. Oh my god.
Yeah,
What a cunt.
she's like, oh, it's so nice. We're sitting here. Me and Jeff are drinking. We're just minding our own business, And I think Jeff, you said hi to her or something, And
no, she dropped some TikTok. She dropped like a TikTok like
video
merch thing on. Well, there was like a little perfume sachet and like a strap of some sort.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, do you do TikTok? She's, oh yes, I have like 6.5 million subscribers, and I got like 7 million on YouTube. But we had her pegged. I mean, okay, well,
right away. We didn't engage in pegging. Let's be very clear here.
Yeah.
Phrasing.
Yeah, no, because we were there was like no seating available in this bar, and we were sitting way back in the back corner by the coat rack. And this woman walked in. This was a dive bar, like Irish bar. It was like the diviest of dive bars, and it was awesome. And this woman just walked in with her hair all perfect and this black dress looking thing on, just walking like she owned the place. And we both had her tagged,
nose up in the air. Yeah, and I was like,
we're like, this is the problem. This is the problem in the bar.
This is the problem. She's causing the problems in the bar with the attitude problems. Yeah.
And all she did was walk back. I think she was going to the bathroom or something, but we had her pegged. And sure enough, she came around and she was just a show. And at 5 o'clock in the, well, you left early. You left before she did, I think.
I had to wake up the next day, I think. Yes.
Yeah. They were closing down the bar and she was leaving. And I was talking to the bartender chick going, hey, we should go somewhere else and have some drinks. And I said, yeah, everybody should come with us. And she's like, well, this was after 4:30 in the morning. And she's like, I've got to get back to my husband.
Oh, girl. And we're talking about why do relationships problems happen? Exhibit A, you are out till 4:30 drinking without your husband, right? Yeah. And I know what you girls are getting mad at me, but I'm saying, like, where's your husband? Why is he not here? Why are you out like that?
And vice versa too. Vice versa too.
Where's he? Is he at the karaoke? Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
What's going on?
We've already got super chat. I was gonna say, don't make me look the fool in front of Senpai here. We need to.
No. You're getting paid here. You got a big one from my girl.
Yeah, we're she's my girl. She's not your girl. She's my girl.
They're all my girls. It's the harem, baby.
Eskimo brothers, cheers. High five.
I had that. Never mind. Moving
right along.
Continue with this.
Been there, done that. For a new subscription to Norton Antivirus. Yeah, fortunately, it wasn't a virus. It was magic. Magic was apparently the only thing wrong with the computer. Thank you very much. Been there, done that. My homie from just over the hill of my hometown. Thank you for being here. And Lost in Law, what's up, Tim? You leave Korea if you fall dead or fall in love. Well, a lot of people fall in love and they don't get to leave.
Yeah, they stay, right? I mean, I would think that's you've seen the cycle here because I see it here as well in Southeast Asia. Of course, there's a wider range of folks, but I think that's kind of the range for people. If you're staying in Korea, people are like, oh, you have a Korean wife, or you've been like redeployed with the military there for a very long time. But typically, they've got a Korean girlfriend or wife.
Oh, yeah.
Right? That's why they're there for a long time.
And Buddha Berries was a Buddha Berries in the house with the Aussie $5. Jeff, you can be my Valentine. Oh, okay. It's a deal. Andrew said Asian chicks with full Aussie accents weird him the fuck out. I saw that.
I did not say that. This is slander and defamation. This is defamation. And it's correct defamation. This is how you actually think of it.
The word used was creepy.
I said, no. They shocked me.
Creepy. I thought you said
they shocked me. No, they surprised me. No, it's like a surprise. I mean, have you not seen that? Like where they come up and you're expecting it to be chickadee China and Chinese chicken, and it is Crunky, mate, Shayla. Your mother, Bobby. They sound like Ozzy Outlaw, and I'm like, oh, hey, and then I get used to it, and I kind of like it. I'm like, oh, it's different, but it was a little surprising for it. It's like if you ate peanut butter, and all of a sudden it tastes like strawberries, right? And it looks like you'd be surprised, you'd be a little shocked, but then you might like it. You might like it, Jeff. You might learn to like it.
Yeah, I remember had a friend way back in the day when I was missionary Lorax, way back in the naive days. I had a friend that went to Australia. He spoke pretty decent English. Then
Sweet
he went
summer
to
child.
yeah, he went to Australia to study. He came back 2 years later, this Korean with this really thick Australian accent, and it was like, dude, bro, come on.
Bro.
The same thing with a Korean friend of mine that moved to Louisville. Kentucky, and I met him like a few years later. Oh yeah, and he was just like, I've been having so much fun since I got here to America. I'm like,
no,
dude. I'm like,
dude.
no, he was like full on native. He'd gone full native. I just happened to be in chat to apologize.
Yeah.
Never apologize for being China Australian or
China Australian. Yeah, it's all good.
And
Asia Australian.
Xander's rants. I missed the Hawaiian shirt. Hey,
what's up, Xander? Good to see you, bro. We hung out in Tokyo. Really cool hanging out with him there and seeing everybody who came out.
And Andrew, I hear you're teetotaling these days and you're not drinking.
I rarely drink at all.
What's wrong with you? You've changed.
I don't feel like it. And also another thing totally is that I feel like I lose a lot of my day and I'm trying to be way more productive. So
yeah, well, that's what night.
Well, you can drink but drink as much as you want. I'm shaming it. Go ham, baby.
I am. We're doing the Bella Stella here. We've got we've got the Thai rum just for you.
Oh, that one's great. Yes. Did I bring you that one?
No, I got this from the local bottle shop.
I gotta bring you one. Next time I'm there, I'm gonna bring you one.
This is the Praya rum here.
So the best bar is actually on the Khao Phraya River. It's Bangkok Social Club.
The what?
It's really, really good. BKK Social Club, best bar in Bangkok, number 13.
I thought you said the Big Cock Social Club. I'm like, wow.
Well, I mean, it's a common mistake there. C instead of a K,
Bella Stella, thank you so much for your chat. For the, this is the real deal here. So thank you so much. As always, the $100 automatically gets you a shot of Thai rum, which is not the greatest, but it's not the worst either. Sangsum is pretty bad.
Sangsum is really bad. That's what the Thais drink.
Thank you so much, Bella Stella, for the biggin. And for the biggin, you of course get the super duper foghorn. Thank you. That's your. We haven't been doing those for a while. So
that's a good one. That's a good one. I like that one.
Yeah,
Jeff.
And the lessers, lost in law. Thank you so much. Never go full native. I know. You get the ship's bell. And Jeff Moser, Max Murrah drinking stream when I think he gave up drinking too. For a minute.
Yeah, for a minute. Is he back? Okay, I don't know. But that's always fun. It's always fun.
I think Mrs. Murrah gave up drinking.
Yeah. Mrs. Murrah gave up Max's drinking.
Yeah. And the DCV Titan. If the computer problem happens again, check the power. The power outlet's fine. Oh my God, you people, I love you all to death and all your helpful suggestions, but y'all must think I'm a fucking idiot. And try a new plug. Maybe the fuse box is broken. I tried everything. I love you all to death, but please, at least give me some credit. Check the power outlet. It sounds like the power supply's fuse tripped. No, the power supply's fuse was perfect. Everything was perfectly fine to prevent a surge and didn't reset until all the power bled out of the system. It was just magic. It was just one of those things like when your car breaks down, you take it into the repair shop, and you go, it's making this weird noise every time you do this. They do this and it doesn't make the noise, and they go, all right, go home now. But it just magically healed it, so we're good. Anyway, thank you so much, DCV Titan. Appreciate you. And lastly, before we get into the topic, Sovereign Bozeman says Jeff was the number one bartender, an ancient, tiny Japanese guy who spent 2 hours sharpening his tools in pure silence, ignoring everyone's request before serving the entire bar in 3 minutes. No, he's actually an African man that was raised in England who has the most amazing flavor palette you've ever met in your life. He's actually in Tokyo now at the Four Seasons.
Really good. And the one that's in Bangkok is at the Four Seasons as well. So I think the Four Seasons keeps at the top of the list generally, but really, really good, really good bars.
All right. Well, it's also that time. I think we have to ingest some more guests into this thing here. Where'd we go? I've got a new thingy here, so now I've got to find out where all of my dumbass. Where's my thing? I've lost my thing. Yeah, we'll find it here. Where are we going? All right, everybody, you just have to please stand by while I find out where I put all, because I replaced my Stream Deck with a Rodecaster, and I'm still finding out where I've got everything. I probably fucked everything up because that's what I do. Yeah, I apparently have. So anyway, we seem to no longer. Oh, here it is, because I'm an idiot.
Release the hose.
We have our guests. We've unlocked the Doggo Cam achievement.
Oh, yes. What time how do you unlock that?
$100.
$100. Oh, cool.
Yeah, so there we go. Just get some sleeping pig dogs for Valentine's Day.
Oh.
All righty. So yeah, they'll just be joining us here as long as they sleep peacefully in front of the space heater.
Very nice.
All right. Yeah, this new roadcast.
So guys,
nice.
Everybody, stateside, you guys are warming up to Valentine's Day. You guys are getting ready for Valentine's Day. So you still got time for love. It hasn't rolled by you like it has for me and old Jeff here. We just end of the day.
We've still got time to warn them off.
Run.
Island, thank you so much. You have the $2 super chat. Thank you so very, very, very much for that. It is deeply, deeply appreciated. I have no computer tips. I'm just glad you're back. Well, you know what? I'm just glad you're back too. So you get a bell. Thanks. All right. Valentine's Day. I call it VD just out of just half joking, because I used to work at Albertson's grocery store as a bagger and evening stalker. And we had a guy that ordered a bunch of Valentine's Day cookies. And he wanted Happy Valentine's Day written on these tiny little sugar cookies, and it wouldn't fit. So he just suggested, well, what if we just abbreviate it to Happy VD? And,
no.
Well, this is Utah. And so the baker said, I don't know if you really want to do that. And he's like, well, yeah, we do. So we got, all right. So he made several hundred Happy VD cookies and gave them to him. And ever since then, I've just said Happy VD because it was funny. Yeah, but love, laugh, and lawsuits. That's what we're here to talk about today. Getting in trouble, thinking with the little head, thinking with your legs open, doing this shit. Love can be expensive. I mean, it can be expensive and you're done, or, you can be into the, you can pay up front and be done with it.
Or pay at the end, right? I mean,
Or
it's
pay at the
accruing
end.
interest, right? Or pay it all during the process, right? You're just being blood dry, like a leech attached to your testicles or other parts.
That sounds really uncomfortable. And Nicholas Starov, Andrew, the one lawyer I don't need to play 1.5 speed because he's already talking in that speed.
That's why, I never have a problem keeping my streams relatively short, because I feel like I'm always in 1.5x speed. So I'm getting it out there. I'm getting the information out there. Get in, get out. And that's one of the secrets to love.
It is.
You need to get in, get out, baby. Get in, get out.
And with his little, I got to pull Putin here and take my watch off, because we're getting down to business. We're getting down to business, so to speak here. Okay, people. We got to talk. We got to have a base discussion, and this is applicable probably equally to men and women, but we're men folk here, so we're going to be probably speaking from the men folk perspective. I don't know what's probably the easiest way you can think of that love leads to lawsuits, or love leads to unhappy endings.
Well, obviously, we all can say the lowest hanging fruit, the thing we all have to acknowledge is obviously people fall in love, and I believe they genuinely love each other.
Mm-hmm.
And that love oftentimes fades like the wind in the breeze and the trees, and things change, situations change. Maybe it's kids, maybe it's a job, maybe it's finances, maybe it's substance abuse. There's something that comes, infidelity, maybe that, whatever it is, lack of attention, lack of physical attention, physical comfort, some condition changes or some condition deteriorates or is revealed. And then there is divorce, then there is charges, and there is domestic abuse, then there is civil claims, right? Then there's alimony. If there's kids, there's child support. So obviously relationships are the number one thing that can cause it, particularly if you are in a legally binding relationship known as a marriage.
And divorce is the one way that love that's the probably the primary way that love leads to lawsuits. You get married, you get the state involved. And as someone who's been through that particular ringer, I mean, I can see myself settling down with the right person at some point. But
yeah, I mean, I think there are conditions. I know that I've come off as some, say we're Cupid mindset, because I know that maybe I've come off as a harsh person who's anti-love. I am no way, shape, or form anti-love, and I am no way, shape, or form anti relationship. I've had some fantastic, amazing, life-changing relationships that are great and that can leave you in at least a good place, right? I don't always want to say better than the way you found them, not necessarily, but at least leave you in a place where you don't regret it. Look, you always invest in a relationship, and there's time and there's money and everything else. But there's situations in which I've had relationships that are just fine and come out of them, and everybody's happy and everything's all right. Maybe it's not what everybody wanted, but it's all right. And you survive and you move on. And there are ways to navigate relationships better. And certainly as you get older, and I think you can testify to this, Jeff, too, because you have more experiences, you do things right. You don't make those mistakes again, right?
Well, yeah. And the one mistake I'm not going to make is I'm never going to let the government be involved in my marital relationship ever again, right? Yeah. I did it once, and it's never going to happen again. But yeah, divorce, interestingly enough, according to the New York Times, February is the most popular time for people to admit affairs to their significant other.
Why do you think that is, Jeff? What do you think the reason is that February of all the months is a month where people are admitting affairs?
Well, I mean, me personally, I would say it's because it's Valentine's Day. You have to look at the person you don't love anymore. Think about the one you've been knocking boots with for recently. Like, I love her more than I love the older model. And I'm gonna tell her I'm out of here. And again, women do it too. Women go, this schlub that's fucking around the house. I got Mr. Pool. I got Mr. Pool Cleaner Boy over here.
The pool boy. You got the pool boy. He's queued up. Yeah.
We got the Jimmy Falwell Jr. in the pool boy scenario there. Let's hook up with the pool boy. You do that. It's like Valentine's Day is the time. I don't want to spend another Valentine's Day. I don't love you anymore. I love her. Get the fuck out. That kind of thing.
It's kind of the notion of like the closer you are, the more that can realize to push you away, right? It's like that closeness is actually what causes that inflection point where you're like, wait a second, I don't love this person anymore, right? Because you're forced to consider it. You're forced to think about it. Who do I want to spend Valentine's Day? And you're like, not this fucker, right? And by the way, both sides, right? It can be the woman or it can be the man, right? It can be both ways where you're like, I don't want to give this person I don't want to go to dinner with this person. I don't want to do that anymore. Maybe you didn't think about that anymore. Now you're thinking about it. And Valentine's Day. So if anything, we can blame Valentine's Day, and perhaps not for everything, but definitely for it being the top month. I think that's very fair.
Yeah. And also, I mean, correspondingly, the first quarter of the year, January, February, and March, is divorce season. There's more people that are divorced in January through March than any other time of year. Same effect, I think, especially like when the winter rolls around. And you saw like COVID was supposed to be the time when everybody came together. Everybody, we're all living together in our house, and we have to overcome our issues and understand each other.
Well, wasn't it the case where, if I remember with COVID, the statistics were that people actually stayed together during COVID, but then after COVID, there was a massive breakups. Like as soon as the lockdowns were lifted, people were like, I realize I hate this person.
Yeah, and you were seeing like celebrities and things that we care about that have been married 20, 30, 40 years going, we're done. We're done. Yeah. We were locked up. We were trapped together for a year or two, and now we're done.
Right.
So I mean, divorce, there's really no way I am in awe of these people that have been married 40, 50, 60, 70 years. People now that are still have happy marriage. I envy you. Good for you. I couldn't do it. It was a mutual failing, and I can't all blame it on her. It was me too.
And some people can, and maybe they make a very good choice. And I think when you're younger, it's easy to make a bad choice. Maybe they make very good choices. I think it's possible to make better choices. I think it is possible to find better people, and I think it is possible to look for the criteria in people that align with you. And oftentimes, I've learned this, Jeff, that the things I thought were great are actually not that great. Like I end up, the things I wanted, like, I'm gonna get the crazy hot girl, right? The super ultra Courtney Clenny hot girl, and then she stabs you, right?
Yeah.
Like,
because
she
you
throws
realize the knife from across the room. And,
I'm
it
sorry.
sinks 4 inches into your chest.
Allegedly, yes. She tosses it with her Olympian skill.
Yeah,
that is humanly
power.
impossible, according to the medical examiner. All of that, yes, totally legitimate. But that's one thing you realize, like, hey, that person that like looks good in Korea is actually a great comparison for this, because very many beautiful women in Korea, but what lies beneath the surface? I was actually just talking with a Korean friend about the black bean, the girls that what are they called again? Black bean soup girls, the girls who don't own anything.
The
what's the word for it? You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, the doenjang.
Yes.
Yeah, the doenjang girls. Yeah.
Yeah. The Ninjang girls. Those girls. So that it's this trend, especially in Asia. It's common in Japan, even here in Thailand, other places, where they will wear all designer stuff, right? I even see this in Thailand in like villages where people are clearly not well off, right? But I'm walking and the girl's wearing Chanel, she's wearing Fendi, she's wearing all this, and I'm like, you're objectively poor, right? Like, you're not fooling anybody by wearing these designer brands, right? I know this is either A, fake, or B, they put all your money into this, right? Or some sugar daddy gave it to you, whatever, right? And then you come home and you live in a tiny apartment or with your parents. You have nothing. You have no material possessions. You just have your look, right? Maybe a plastic surgery or whatever, right? That is very elusive. And you learn that when you're older. You're like, I have to look beyond. I have to look to what is going to be better in the long run. And, when you're thinking with your little head, you often don't do that.
Yeah. And by the way, all those videos you see on TikTok and YouTube and Twitter about the super gorgeous girl, like taking off her makeup and looking like a troll, that's real.
That is real.
That is real.
Very real. Very
Skincare and makeup in Asia is otherworldly. And I know serious couples that have been together for a long, like months and months, even a year or more, that have never seen their partner without makeup.
Really?
Yeah. It's a thing. And plastic surgery is out of control here. Everybody has it. Everybody does it. And you're starting to see it now, because now the plastic surgery generation is having their children. And you have an entire generation of children that look nothing like their parents.
The most famous case in China, where the gentleman sued over it because it was so different, because the children came out as this otherworldly looking kids, compared to their mom. And then they're like, where did this come from? And they got the facts, and it was, oh, wait. Yeah, I've been catfished, right? I've been.
Yeah, like legit. I mean, in that case, that was bad. Really bad. She was like a box of Lucky Charms, just all artificial flavors and ingredients, preservatives, and that was bad.
Real bad.
Adara the Wholesome says, Valentine's Day. Thank you so much for being a member for 4 months, Adara. Valentine's Day is all fun and games until you're polyamorous. Try balancing that between 2 or 3 of your partners. This would really hurt were I not a woman. Lol.
That's so funny. Look, I'll say this. I mean, if you're a woman in America, I think that polyamory really benefits you, right? I mean, you get those benefits from 5-6 guys. I mean, you go, girl. Won't be me, but you get it, right? Won't be me. You won't be getting anything from me, but good on you, right?
Well, there are tells in Korea, like pretty much any woman that drives a white BMW. That's a thing. Any single woman that has a white BMW.
It's kind of obvious usually. For example, like if you'll see a girl that she's working as a bartender, or she's working a waiter, right? And I'm saying this is something that happens even here, right? And this girl whose job cannot afford this, especially here in Thailand, there's a 300% tariff on luxury vehicles. So when I see a bartender girl has a BMW, I'm like, I know where you got that, right? Like that's not, you didn't earn that with your little bartending salary, right? Like we know what's going on here.
Aussie Overlord tells a story of when he was a newly minted lawyer in 2014. One of his first cases was a woman who wanted to enlist his services for a gift contract.
Yes. Josh of Meme Copium has talked about this in Japan. How there was people who want some gifting. Yes.
Yeah, this was a contract for a $70,000 John Deere tractor that she got.
I thought it was a different type of contract. I thought it was a contract for a personal donation, if you know what I mean.
Well, it was the same thing. It's like, yeah, you do this, and I give you this $70,000.
Okay. She gives that, and he gets the. Here's the problem.
He gets the sex, she gets a tractor. So why she would want a tractor is beyond me, but that was it. And she wanted to make sure that he couldn't take it back.
Wow.
So yeah, I don't know if I'd be asking for a tractor, but that's what she did. And Jeff Moser.
Some people think the tractor's sexy, you know.
Yeah, you gotta go with it. Jeff Moser, the Valentine's Day, and we celebrate with baldos. No, we don't. No, we don't.
Jeff's just like, no,
nope.
That's a no.
Tank Rat, the rat here, thinks that he'd rather deal with the Japanese Valentines and Western Valentines. Oh, thank you so much, Tank Rat.
It's perfectly fine.
Okay.
I mean,
well, that's kind of a cultural thing too. Like Valentine's Day in Korea and Japan are different. Japan started it, Korea followed suit. What happens is in Japan and Korea on Valentine's Day, the women will give chocolate to the guys.
Yes.
And why? Because some Japanese candy manufacturer said, hey, why don't we split this out over 2 months? So March 14th is White Day. That's where the guys give candy to the girls. Yeah. And then April 14th, everybody that doesn't get a present, they have like this day where it's called Black Day, where I guess you go out and get a black guy. No, it's like
black soup in Korea, right? Yeah,
but it's these black noodles that we just call axle grease because it just looks and tastes like axle grease. But yeah, so it's a thing. They drag it out, and we have Knox Fuse. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat. COVID revealed my ex-wife's 2-year affair. Oh my lord.
Oh my god, dude, I'm sorry, man.
I worked 48-hour shifts in public safety. So it was easy for her to hide until my parents did virtual meetings with my kids and saw someone else in.
Oh, that is so fucked up that your parents found out. Oh, dude, I'm sorry, man. I empathize with this because, you know, a lot of people, they sit here and they laugh at people and stuff like that. And that's why one of the things why I cover these issues on my channel, because, you know, people underestimate what effect this can have on people, particularly on men, right? And ladies, I love you. You guys know I love you. But, you know, when men go through this, oftentimes they're alone, right? They don't have friends anymore. They've been isolated, right? They're just them, right? And all of a sudden they've got to deal with this all alone, right?
And it's another dude in your house. Go to the other dude's house. If you're going to cheat, go to the other dude. Don't bring another dude into another man's castle. That's how blood gets spilled.
Yeah, that's how people die. Yeah.
That ain't good. But what is good is Bella Stella gifting 20 Legal Vices memberships. If you were one of the 20 lucky people that got a membership from Bella Stella, you better thank Bella Stella for that super special gift you got. Thank you so much for that. That is awesome. And Olala Pat says, a few years ago, I saw an ad here in Paris on Valentine's Day that said something like, on Valentine's Day, don't forget your mistress, 2 flower bouquets for the price of 1. Support your local florist. Yikes.
That's actually really good, and it's accurate in France. Not gonna lie. NGL France. Sorry, but y'all know. Yeah. Y'all know what's up.
Base France.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Oh, one more before we hit the road here. Island with the $5 super chat. I once went on a blind date with a guy who knew my family, called me good breeding stock. Well, that's a compliment in Utah. Come on. I was genuinely crestfallen to learn I was adopted.
No. If someone came up and was like, boy, you're good breeding stock, I would actually, you know what? I would take that as a compliment.
Yeah, that's a compliment in Utah. And you got them wide birthing hips. those are compliments back in Utah.
Bet you pounded a few steers in your day.
Yeah, man, you look mighty fine in some great corduroys. I don't know. Oh, I remember my mother tried to set me up with one woman. Oh my
Oh
Lord.
no.
It was a daughter of a customer or a daughter of a friend or somebody. She's like, go out with this girl. I'm like, why? Like, just do it. All right. Is she pretty? She's really sweet. Oh, fuck. Is she pretty, Mom? She's got a good spirit about her.
Mom, say it.
Yeah, I'm like, Mom, what does she look like? She's a really nice girl.
That's like, not what she looks like. Yeah.
If you've seen Labyrinth, she looks like Ludo, the big, shaggy, brown-haired dude's like, smell bad. It's like, I shit you not. She basically had to duck and turn sideways to get in our fucking house's front door. I mean, mother, no, never, ever again, mother. Oh, that was bad. that was a bad day. So I just don't do blind dates ever because I was traumatized as a 17-year-old. It was bad. Well, so we talked about divorce. Divorce is one way people end up in lawsuits. Another one, which is sort of related to it, the cohabitation agreements, the common law thing. You don't have to be,
which is growing and expanding across all jurisdictions. And you just look at the longer term trends. I think almost all Western jurisdictions are going to accept stuff like palimony, right? Which means you've got, we had the poly out there, right? Shouting out the poly, right? That situation is starting to be acknowledged in the law that, like, look, if you're in one of these relationships, you may not be legally married, but you have some interest, right? And that is going to be acknowledged at some point. Right, that is going to come down, I think, through the law. And you have places like Canada that have expanded broadly their definition. There's even common law relationships there that can end up in a bad situation once you've been together. So, I mean, it's only going to get more in the law.
Oh, and JKD Buck, dude, you said no warmth in the winter and shade in the summer. No, that's not how it works. And I don't even have the same BMI fear that Andrew does.
I don't have a BMI fear. I've already told people in my day, I've speared a whale or two, but listen, nowadays I can do better. We can elevate. Yeah, nowadays.
Yes. But that's the thing. Even if you're not married to someone, you can still be on the hook for a divorce. You can still be on the hook for this shit.
Well, in Asia, we have like loss of consortium, essentially. Like we still have that in a lot of places. Japan has it. A lot of the places have it where you can sue the mistress, right? Yeah. So you got to be careful.
Well, I mean, if you've got shared assets, if you've been living together long enough that you've got shared assets, if your apartment or your condo or your house is in both of your names, if you have a joint bank account, if you just bought a fucking dog together, how do you know what belongs to you and what belongs to your partner? It's not a divorce. Yeah. But what do? You've been living with someone for a long time. It can feel like a marriage. So how do you can have these cohabitation agreements, which are essentially contracts to fuck and live together.
Which honestly, look, if you're going to live together long-term and you know that's your goal, you're like, look, I don't want to get married to you, but I'm okay living with you. You need to have it. I know it sounds like, oh, it's not romantic. Yes. But otherwise, don't live together, right? You have two choices. You can have an agreement in writing about certain things at a bare minimum, your finances, your basic finances, the basic way things are going to run in the house, or you can live separate, right? Because here's another thing too. People don't take things seriously till there's a contract, right? Oh, yeah. When I say, oh, we're going to split everything 50-50, like, okay, cool. But the second you pull out the contract, they're like, wait a second, right? And you can put the exact same thing in a contract and they'll flip out about it because it's in a contract now. Oh, yeah. And then if you do want a contract, it's like, well, you don't trust me. There's that from the other side. That old card, you don't trust me. I'm like, well, hold on. If you were in this situation, would you make me something? Well, yeah. I would.
I mean, clearly things like this are hope for the best, prepare for the worst scenario. The cohabitation agreements, that just sort of outlines, a division of property, financial obligations, what you owe to each other. Is there going to be any support after you do? It's like a prenup, but it's more on the financial expectations and protecting your individual assets. This is what I got. This is what I'm leaving with. We're not responsible for each other. We're just living and cohabiting. Don't be careful. Just be careful. Find out if your state has common law, because you can find you've been married, you're married because you just happen to live with them for a few years.
And only some states in the U.S., if you're in the U.S., luckily only some states have it. If you're outside the U.S., it's probably going to be a federal law. So you can probably look like candidates at a federal level, right? So you can look at that. Other places, you can look at federal law if you're in Europe or elsewhere, Australia, New Zealand, that's going to probably be federal. So, you can just check that out, find it pretty easily if there's common law. And, you can put in the contract, we have no intent to form this relationship, right? And you want to, and you can even frame that in a romantic way, saying, look, I don't want us to accidentally be married. If we want to get married, let's intend it, right? Because let's intend to make that commitment to each other where we've been together long enough that we can say, I want to be with you the rest of my life. Okay. And you know what that means, which means, by the way, being with somebody beyond the glow, beyond the honeymoon phase, beyond the first year when everything is fancy, it's being with somebody when they're really fucking annoying to you, right? Because eventually everybody, no matter how hot they are, beautiful, cool, exciting, they get annoying, they get boring, they get ho-hum. That's just the way it is. It's just a natural tendency when you move into with somebody, right? You see them all day, right? You just get used to them as a thing, right? And it can cause a lot of tension.
Yeah, see, Beth, that's the right idea. My boyfriend and I have been together for over 9 years. He moved in 3 years ago. We were both married previously. I have no desire to get married.
And that's fine. That's awesome. Good for you. And you got I'm sure you had a conversation about it right beforehand, right? And that's a responsible thing to do, is just have a conversation, be upfront and honest. Don't conceal your intentions. Don't change them wildly, right? Don't go from I want to have kids, I don't want to have kids, or I want to get married, I don't want to get married. Make sure you're keeping those big things. The big what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, that shit changes. I don't want to have kids. And then suddenly you do.
And then you're 35 and you're like, wait a second, right?
No.
And look, I get it. I understand people can change, but you should think really critically about this. Have a deep come to Jesus or Muhammad or Buddha or whatever you like, spaghetti monster, right? Godzilla -1, whatever you're praying to, just do it and come to that thought. Did you get it in Korea? Places, did you finally get it in Korea?
No, Godzilla -1 will never come here just because it's Japanese.
I thought they made an exception. I thought they were going to do it.
No. They do the Hollywood Godzilla, just not the Japanese Godzilla, because they have their own little Yongari that's in competition.
Yeah. Yongari has to be boxed in,
Yeah. So, and the interesting thing is, like with these cohabitation agreements and things, the one, like, people don't think, we don't have anything to argue about. Maybe the dog. What are we going to fight about? Kitchen knives? Yeah, I got my own car. My own car is my own name. Her car is in her name. There's only one name on the lease. But when you start thinking, like, one of the most valuable assets that couples can have that they don't think about is that ring that he gave her. The promise ring, the couple ring, the engagement ring, whatever you want to call it. That can be thousands and thousands of dollars. Who gets the ring when you break up? Do you want? And
there's a lot of law about that. Like, if it's a gift, if it's intended as a gift, not intended as a gift, was it intended to be conditional, like conditioned upon the wedding, right? And frankly, to be clear, there's a legal side and there's a moral side. I mean, I don't know where you come down, Jeff, but my thing is, look, you should give it back, right? Like, if you are not getting married, you should give it back. What are you going to do with that ring? Are you going to take that cursed ring, this cursed object, and give it and keep it for a use with another guy? What are you going to tell the second guy?
You're going to flip that bitch and take the money and run.
Yeah,
they're going to flip it.
Yeah, they're going to flip it, right? Which, you're not going to let the guy flip it. It seems very, very weird. It's like the and one on the way out. It just doesn't seem necessary. Yeah.
Well, I've still got my gold wedding ring, like literally right here behind my monitor. It's sitting in my like with all my pens and batteries and USB cards and shit, waiting for the one day when I go, I'm gonna melt this bitch down and take the money. Just waiting for gold to keep going up. Then I'll just drop it one day. But yeah, they're just gonna flip it. This dude spent thousands of dollars. Who gets the ring? Things like that people don't think about. He's like, I got a ring. And he's like, I gave her the ring. Guess it must be hers. You work on it. Work that shit out. What about finding people?
Finding people. I will tell you this, Jeff. I envy you. You know, when I it's like the generations, you know, when me, you, and Scott are hanging out and Itaewon, it was like, you know, like the you know, been here for longer, been here for medium, been here just getting here.
Yeah.
And I envy being able to go out, especially like old Korea. It must have been freaking awesome being able to go out and everybody is going out to meet people and they know that's what they're there to do. They're not there to stare at their phone. They're not there to do Instagram. They're not there for whatever. They're there to meet people. That is the place they go to meet people. Nowadays, it's like laughable to go to a bar to meet somebody, right? Yeah. Nobody's going to a bar to meet. If anything, they're going to meet them because they've already arranged a date, right? Yeah. So they're already meeting somebody on a date. They don't want to talk to you. They don't want to interact with you. In fact, you might get arrested if you you might, especially in the US. And I watch all these TikTok videos of the girls who are like, why aren't the guys talking anymore? But then you watch the other one, like, never talk to people in public. And we're getting mixed messages, right? Some people want it and some people really, really, really hate it. So it's, I think, unfortunately, because of that split, it's just had to end. And we will, you know, you and I, we're very gregarious folks, Jeff. You and I will talk to people. We built a little bit different, right? We're also, you know, probably the last, I mean, I'm probably generationally the last generation that even knew how to do that, right?
You're not wrong. You're not wrong at all.
I don't think the kids these days, I mean, good old Gen Z and Gen Alpha, they ain't going to be doing that. It's all going to be online or not at all, or it'll be with their AI waifu or their robot waifu, right? It's not going to be, meeting folks, maybe even at all. It's tragic.
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. And, you know, I mean, everybody's got the stories that bars aren't what they used to be. They're no fun anymore. Yeah, they're just no fun anymore.
They used to be fun.
And really, like, the only way you can tell, and it's probably 60-40 in favor of leave me alone, when it's like 2:30 in the morning, 3:00 in the morning, there's one woman sitting alone in the bar drinking her whiskey.
Maybe. Yeah, that's a maybe, because it could still be she still wants you to fuck off and she's already matched with somebody on Tinder.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying it's probably 60% she wants you to fuck off, but you still got a 40% chance, which is a lot higher than you would have anyway.
Works 40% of the time, every time.
Yeah. Yeah. At some point it becomes a 1-1. It becomes a 1-to-1 ratio when it works. But so what about online? Finding people online?
I think you can do it, but I'm more and more convinced that, like, the best way to meet people, like the most optimum, is frankly being introduced to people or meeting them in person or having a recommendation or having somebody who knows you, like, and knows what type of person you are, say this would be a good person for you, because they're able to kind of vet them a little bit more. Meeting people online, you have so much catfishing, so much lies, so much deception, so much replaceability, right? Because the thing about online apps, which, look, you guys know I'm no Puritan over here, but I'm saying, you know, when you have 50 or 100 matches, you think that everybody is replaceable, but that's not true. You might have one person that's just so amazing and such a good match for you, and if you let them pass by, the other 99 are not going to be good for you. They're going to be very incompatible for you. But it seems like you have a lot of options. It's the fallacy of options. I think that's what the dating has done for the dating apps have done for us, is given us the fallacy of options.
What I can't think of the exact statistic of it. It's something like on social media dating apps, it's like the top 1 or 2% of the guys get 80 to 90% of the women, and like the other 97% of the guys get fuck all off the dating sites. They just get the trolls and the fake accounts and scammers.
Or nothing at all. The curve is very rough, because I think the thing was the majority of men, like, on dating apps are rated as unattractive, and those guys get 0 matches, right?
Yeah.
And that sucks. That frankly is horrible. I feel really bad for those people, right? Because you're treated as, like, not existing, and the only time that becomes comparable, I think, and that especially on the other side, the feminine side, is I think later in life people start to realize that, especially when you're much later in life, when you start to see the interest dropping off and people paying attention to people that are younger. I think start to see what we see, but it's a really rough spot for a lot of guys for a very long time. But that being said, you can always improve yourself. You can always, I'm very white pill on this. I think you can always improve your situation, take better photos, market yourself better. You can do it. It is possible.
Well, if my dumb, ugly, fat old ass can pull it, then anybody.
Listen, Lorax, I've seen you rocking some good photos out there. I think any lady would be lucky to get just a tip for the big daddy.
That's the legit thing. Like, dude, if I can do it, you can too. That's all I
didn't say it.
No, I'm totally there. And but I mean, like you were talking about vetting. I mean, that's the problem. You hook up with someone on Twitter.
Vetting,
you hook up with someone on Tinder, on Bubble, or whatever the fuck people are doing.
Whatever it is.
It could be Mr. Right, or you could be his next human cannibal victim.
Well, and let me say, you're not wrong, but the chance of that happening is super low. I hate that people get into the scare tactic of like every guy is a serial killer, right? Because that's not true.
Okay, well, let's not even go down the serial killer route. There's the, and I know you've seen it here on the dating apps in Korea, where it's I mean, Tinder is a hookup deal. You're not on Tinder unless you're looking to smash.
But in Korea, yeah, for sure, 100%, yes.
Yeah, but like you get in a place, you get a lot of people. It's like, oh, I'm not for one night stands and friends with benefits, and I'm looking for a long term. Why are you on this app?
Yeah,
and so you can get that where you get some dude that's like, all right, we're down to smash. You hook up, and he's like, what do you mean you're not down to smash? Well, why, that's what this is for. And it can lead to rape. It can lead to accusations of rape if you do grape. I'm sorry, YouTube. If you do smash and someone has regrets, there's a lot of that goes on in the world, like both sides of things. Well, this was a guy that met a girl in a bar, which is this was a guy who called asking to be a client. And
back in the day, I would say meeting in a bar wasn't necessarily bad because that's where everybody met. People just went to the bar and met, right? I mean, you can meet normal girls there, but I think that increasingly over time, the demographics maybe change.
Yeah, well, dude meets a girl. It's like 4:00 in the morning in the bar, and it was Fuzzy Navel there in Hyundai.
Oh yes, we're all familiar with Fuzzy Navel.
Yeah, and conveniently right across the street is a hotel, and it's like, hey, let's go over to the hotel. And she drunkenly says, okay, so they go on over there. They bump uglies. They knock some boots.
They knock some heels off. Yeah.
She wakes up the next morning and they're done smashing. It's that awkward time to go home. You do the walk of shame, that kind of thing. And she asks him for some taxi money to get home, and he says no. He says, nah, just work it out yourself. Well, she worked it out herself. She allegedly got her own taxi and went straight to the police department and accused him of rape, and and told him that he gave her AIDS. She told him that he gave her AIDS. Wait, she told him that she gave him AIDS.
She gave him AIDS.
Yeah, she told him that.
Did she really do it?
No, but he was like freaking out, taking medical tests, and plus he's got this grape allegation against him.
Yeah, which is a black mark. See, the thing is about the allegations is the allegation itself is the problem, right? It's not whether or not you're convicted. The allegation itself is the conviction. That's the real problem.
Well, and then when you get in a homogenous society like Korea, are they gonna believe the sweet little innocent girl who just kind of had one too many drinks, or the big mean naughty foreign white guy? Yeah.
No, that's like a case closed in Korea.
It was ultimately worked out, I guess, because he didn't come back to the office with either the retainer was too high, one of the two, but pay for the damn taxi the next day, guys.
pay for the taxi, guys. Listen, people are like, oh, don't pay for. That's not paying for it, bro. That's keeping everything happy, keeping everybody happy.
Send the text messages. Hope you got home okay. It was great meeting you. If we have time, let's meet again sometime.
Loved it. It was fantastic. Like, you were an amazing girl, right? Like, have them text you, like have them text you back somehow.
Ended on good terms. Don't you? Yeah,
an ounce of prevention, right? An ounce of prevention,
right? And again, this goes both ways. We're just doing guy talk because we're guys. Same for the women. Just ended on end your hookup. You hooked up with no shame, so don't have shame the next morning.
Well, and also if you're worried about anything right there, right? Obviously, ending it on good terms would prevent any misbehavior, bad behavior, any crazy behavior, right? If you're worried about them, being a crazy person, right? Just end it on a nice general term, and then just disappear into the wind. Yeah, right.
Just ghost them on their out.
We all know now. I mean, that's an amazing. For better or for worse, we all know what the ghosting means and what it is. I mean, the people that get frustrated by it. I know maybe people say it's a symptom of the modern era, but we all understand that.
Yeah, and Daily Quick Buy says, I've always believed that's what happened to Mike Tyson. He treated Desiree like a street hoe, and he found out. Yeah, that's the going theory.
Yeah, don't do it.
And Smopo Vienna, member for 9 months. Thank you so much for the support, Smope. Smopo made me an amazing pipe that I really, really like to smoke.
Oh, nice.
So glad Andrew talked Jeff into YouTube. You two on the same stream is the best. Cheers from work to all. Got a glass of Ardbeg Corey Vrecken. Well, good for you.
Oh, nice. Cheers.
Thank you so much, Smo. And oh la la, Pat again, who's been a member for 14 months. I only got married to have lower taxes. We both knew it, and we'll be celebrating our 5th anniversary in 2 weeks. Been together for over.
See, I love that. If you had that conversation, if you had that conversation, you literally said that, like, hey, let's just get married to lower our taxes, and you're like, you know what? Fine, right? Like, if you're both on the same page about that, and that's the only expectation is for you to lower your taxes, good on you. Good on you. And you've got a very rational partner too, if that's that they're able to think of that.
Yeah, the last time I got a raise was really interesting because I raised myself into a higher tax bracket, which meant I actually ended up getting lower amounts over time because I got more taxes taken out. But that was the same. Well, I'd already had to deal with the wife we're no longer filing jointly in any country. And then my son hit adulthood and I could no longer claim him on my taxes. So I get the raise, I get more taxes taken out, and I lose 2 dependents. And I'm like, oh God, that was a fun year. that took some getting used to. But so you hook up with someone on Tinder or wherever, and you have a bad date. And you can be the subject like we were just talking about. But you can also attempt to sue the app manufacturer. There was a famous case where a woman tried to sue Match.com, saying that they owed her a duty to protect her against creepy people. And
really,
he was a dangerous guy. But of course, it was surprising ruling coming out of the Ninth Circuit. The Ninth Circuit said there's no special relationship existing between a dating app user and the app itself. So basically, you can't go after it. You can try, but you're not going to be successful. So I mean, that knowledge that your online hookup is a bad person can be hard. That can be hard-won knowledge.
One, there are ways in which the app does look at things and screen things, and there are ways to look at that, right? Obviously. So you should take those into consideration. Obviously, people can be active users of the block and delete functions. Those are things you can use, as you're at your will. So
I did pull up this poll. This was a 2023 Pew Research poll about trends in internet dating. This is for women under 50. Women under 50, 56% received an unwelcome sexually explicit message or image. I'm surprised.
Okay, now here's my question. Yeah, okay. When they say it's unwelcome, right? We all know what it is, right, Jeff? I mean, we're talking about in the case of Korea, in the case, it's the eggplant in America, the chili pepper, the gochujang.
Yes.
And in Korea, right? You know, it is a dick pic, right?
And the show Vagine, you know, open milk truck, you know, that kind of thing.
You know, the thing is, look, when we say unwelcome, it's guys. They're not ready for it. They don't want it. It's not the right time, right?
No, that's what we in Utah we call them folks over there in the Ninth Circuit. We call them the Ninth Circus Court of Appeals. You know,
it's very good. That was a good one. I caught that slip there.
No, it wasn't a slip. That's just what we call them. We call them the Ninth Circus. They're just because they're crazy. And 43% of women under 50 continued to receive messages after they expressed they were not interested.
Well, you know,
oh, Holly, you sweet summer child. You know? Surely surely you've received those messages. I'm a dude and I've received those messages. Show Bob's. Oh, bring milk.
Have you showed your Bob's, Jeff? You showing your Bob's over there, buddy?
The vagine. Show me vagine. You know.
I'm like, I'm a dude.
Milk truck. Sure. Open chest. The DCV Titan with a $5. I think it was okay Cupid study where they found only 20% of guys were considered attractive. Yeah, and I'm surprised that it's 20%. I thought it would be lower.
Yeah, yeah. The thing is, that's just the ones they found attractive. They didn't say they would even match with that. They just said they're attractive. They might not match with the guy, right?
And every woman had some that considered them. See, that's the thing. That's like, thank you so much for that, DCV Titan, by the way. Thank you. That's the thing. That's why OnlyFans exists. You can be the nastiest, grodiest, creepiest, weirdest, just monster of a woman, and some dude out there is going to be into you.
There's a fetish out there for you. I mean, we had Will, you know, we got Will in there, you know, representing the big girls.
Yeah, that's true.
We got all sorts of stuff going on. You know, that where people like certain things. And listen, I got zero judgment for it. Listen, you want to be into it.
Yeah, we don't kink shame.
Guys have very little judgment. It's like, you know, you do whatever you want to do as long as it's not harming anybody.
Yeah.
As long as no kids involved, it's not illegal.
But on the flip side, women don't want to see that by and large. They don't women don't want to see a dude on OnlyFans jerking it. The only people that want to see a dude jerking it are gay dudes.
Well, no, but there's now see what you're not understanding here is there's a female equivalent, baby. Female equivalent is, you know, the romance novel, right? Or maybe they watch the fitness channel with the really hot guy. It's the lifestyle, right? Yeah. It's the travel vlogger, right? It's the person that they can picture the story. They can picture themselves in the story, with the story, right? They can make them into their Christian Grey. That's the equivalent. Now, it's not OnlyFans, but it's different, right? It's a different form of thing. And perhaps it's contained within something like Sex and the City or movies or books or whatever, TV shows that show the powerful people and, you know, the 45-year-old corporate powerful woman getting the perfect guy, right? But one problem with some of that is a lot of that is fiction and a lot of that is a portrayal of fiction. And I think in many cases, it leads both guys and girls, by the way, OnlyFans leading guys and these fictional portrayals in TV and movies lead us both down the wrong path, right? Obviously, for guys, we need to prioritize more than just Bob's and Vagine. And for girls, you know, you need to understand that not every guy is going to be a billionaire, bodybuilder, charismatic lover who's soft and passionate and caring like that. That doesn't, all those traits do not exist in a single person, right? There are multiple people that can be those, but they obviously will usually sacrifice one for the other, right?
Spicy audiobooks.
Spicy audiobooks, yes.
See, and that's the thing that the Josh, the meme copium introduced me to was dinosaur porn.
Oh yeah, and Bigfoot too.
We did a whole bunch of.
You did see the Bigfoot ones, though, right?
Didn't see the Bigfoot ones, but we.
Oh, you haven't? Okay, let me pull it up real quick and send it to you.
We did review a bunch of dinosaur porn novel titles. My favorite being Triceratops and Bottoms.
I'm gonna just put this in your thing. You can decide whether or not you decide to open this Amazon link. I don't think it won't get you in trouble, but
come for Bigfoot. We'll just read it.
Just read it.
On a week-long outing in Mount Hood National Forest, what begins as a flirty, fun-filled trip soon turns into a nightmare when an ape-like creature kidnaps a group of teen girls with the purpose of procreating with them. Thus begins the erotic adventure of a lifetime and an inconceivable love story between a young woman and her horny Sasquatch.
There are 201 ratings on this.
There are. Oh, I can't believe we're going down this track already.
There are 201 ratings for this. Can you not understand?
No, because like I was saying, my favorite book in the dinosaur erotica, it's an 8-book series. My favorite one is called Triceratops and Bottoms.
That's just so good. It's so good. Whatever is out there, people, it's the rule of the internet, and plus the rule now. Whatever is out there, people have done it. It's erotica.
Yeah. She was a time
Stay
traveling
innocent. All those in the chat who are like, I'm sheltered, I'm innocent. Stay that way. Stay that way, you street summer children. And also, I'm sorry for exposing you to any of this.
Yeah. She was a time traveling sexaholic in search of the ultimate dinogasm. For Aaron, life in the far future is safe, easy, and boring until the experimental time belt takes her to a perverse prehistoric playground of pleasure. But will her forbidden lust for a strapping saurian spell disaster? 100 pages of pulchritudinous pocketbook from Lola Faust, author of the acclaimed dinosaur erotic Wet Hot Allosaurus Summer, the perfect gift for a loved one.
Oh,
it's out there, people. It's out there. So enough of that. Let's get back. Oh no,
I'm just going down the road now. I'm like opening all these like other weird links, like sacrifice to the orc, loving the alien. There's just so much out there when you go down this that. Yeah, this rabbit hole goes deep. And this is all you ladies. We guys aren't buying this stuff. Let me just be clear, ladies. I mean, maybe some type of guys, but you know what I'm talking about, Yeah, this is not Jeff and I are not buying these books. Okay.
Oh,
Meanwhile, I check and it's Allosaurus Tops and Bottoms is in your like book drawer, but
see, this is the thing is where'd the message go? Who was it? Oh yeah, it was Femnital says this is why Pornhub is banned in Utah.
Yeah, it makes complete sense. But speaking of which, I mean Korea bans most of the sites.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But see, we also have All I Want for Christmas is Utah Raptor. That's another title.
No. Is that a erotic novel?
Oh, yes. In the snow-dusted streets of her hometown, Holly Grant, a dazzling figure from the glittering world of high society, finds herself at a crossroads. Trapped in a loveless relationship with a wealthy yet unfeeling Thad, her heart longs for escape. As Christmas bells chime and families gather, Holly's perfectly manicured life is on the verge of unraveling in the most unexpected way. Enter Rocky, a breathtakingly majestic Utah Raptor. One set Holly's world ablaze with forbidden passion. Their paths cross again, reawakening a whirlwind romance that defies not only the laws of nature, but also the conservative norms of Holly's Mormon community. Yeah, it's there, people, but that's not what we're talking about. If anybody has a Sasquatch or Dino erotica on their phone, run.
Send it over and we'll review it live.
Or run, one of the two. Oh my Lord! Oh well, okay. We've passed the halfway mark here, so now it's time for our commercial break. We need, for those of you that don't know, those 502 of you that are waiting for the Clayton Echard, and we're going to have fun introducing you to the Clayton Echard case here in just a minute, Nicholas. I'm Nicholas. What do I call you Nicholas for? I saw a Nicholas thing here.
Oh, good.
Andrew, we're going to have fun introducing you to Clayton Echard here in just a minute because he's
good.
The culmination of everything we're talking about here.
Perfect combination.
For those that don't know you, who are you and where can we find you and what do you do?
Well, you can find me on The Legal Mindset. And also Go East Gentleman is my other channel, and goeastgentleman.com is my website for those wanting to come to Asia. But I am over here been mainly covering Disney. I've been kind of like the Disney lawyer now, and they've had so many lawsuits. So that's my main topic. I do cover other topics, big cases, specifically thought crimes. I'll be all over those. If they're in Florida, I am a Florida attorney. I know. I'm actually an attorney, a real attorney. I know it's shocking.
Even though a judge judge said you weren't once.
Even a Alabama. I'm not even sure he was a judge. I think he was running. I'm not sure whether he was actually elected, but regardless, even though he said he wasn't, he defamed me. It is all right. Indeed, everybody who needs to know knows. And it is good to be going into my fourth year. I think this will be my fourth. So November will be my fourth year on YouTube. So happy to be here. Rumble, Locals, legalmindset.locals.com. People can go there or to join my YouTube, BLM, Basic Legal Mindset, which is my membership. So it's good. And I see a lot of the same faces here, which is great, or people that hang out with both of us. I see the guys hanging out there, Ona Wall. I see Bella. I see lots of folks who hang out in my chat too. So shout out to all you guys because it's a really big community. And what I love is that people can choose the flavor they like when they want it, right? When someone's covering what you like, go there. When someone's not, go somewhere else. There's a lot of folks out there that I recommend who do amazing coverage, and Jeff is certainly one of them.
And Gosney said he could write one of those books in a night. And Mamasaurus Rex, anything you want to mention? Just saying. Thank you everybody for being here. Of course, I am Legal Vices. I'm Jeff. You're here because you know me, and that's why you're here. So appreciate you being here for that. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. We got 514 people here, 385 likes. We can get up to 500 likes like that fast. Come on, during this next 30 seconds while I'm doing this, just get down and hit the like button and subscribe. It costs nothing. It's free. You can just do it and forget about it if you haven't already subscribed. If you have, just double check to make sure you're subscribed to me and to Legal Mindset, as you should. And then take our like and subscribe poll. Where are we on our like and subscribe poll? Valentine's Day, 29% of you say the best day ever, and 71% say you can eat a giant bag of dicks. All right. We hasn't changed much since the initial voting began. So that's
a little biased audience here, huh?
Yeah. And Koala T, what's up, waifu girl? Last but here, I'm so innocent. I have no idea what you guys are talking about, but I'm here to support.
Well, welcome. Yeah. And, the innocence often fades quickly with Legal Vices.
Keep it that way. Yeah. And back to our poll here for the trends in internet dating. 37% of women under 50 say they were called an offensive name. And 11% received threats of harm. See, I'm kind of thinking they were all the same person. You get the first one, the dude sending the dick pics, and then he continues to send the dick pics after she says no, and then he calls her an offensive name, and then like the crazier ones, you're down to 11% now. Like, say, well, I'm going to F you up. I think it's kind of like the same person. It's a process, but you got to protect yourself. You got to have seriously, ladies and even dudes, I guess, have yourself an out when you meet up with someone. Most SA events occur on the first in-person meeting. Have yourself an out. Make sure you've got someone watching you, someone shadowing you. You can call someone, you can get somewhere just to take care of it and to extricate yourself from a situation where you're meeting a total effing stranger for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
It's been vetted by nobody.
Mm-hmm. And it's not, but I will say, this is something I've learned from dating. Ladies, you guys typically do some pretty good due diligence. You guys are like little FBI agents, like it typically is like you show up on a first date and they've already looked up your LinkedIn. They've got all your social media. They've got everything. They go out, they enlist all their friends. They send their photo to all of their friends and see if they've dated you, right? There's a lot of due diligence that goes out there with these ladies.
Yeah. Well, so you've met the love of your life online. You've knocked boots. And you realize that let's not do that on Valentine's Day, okay? Turn around. You've done the dirty. You've bumped your uglies enough, and then you find that you've got yourself an STD from it.
Oh, the gift that just keeps on giving and giving and giving.
Can you sue someone for giving you an STD? Like any lawsuit.
I actually don't know about that. I actually have not looked into that area of law, to be honest. That's one I actually don't know.
During my brief research, which was clicking on a few articles and reading, it's kind of one of those it depends things. Like the worse it is,
that's the law. That's the law, Jeff. The law is it depends, right?
Yeah. Like AIDS, yeah. if you give someone AIDS, you could possibly even be for criminal.
What are your damages? What are your damages? Aren't your damages kind of speculative? Because like if it doesn't manifest, like for example, like if you're Magic Johnson over there, like Magic Johnson, like I mean, like in your symptoms aren't really manifesting or having severe consequences for like long periods of your life, right? Then are you really like, is it not speculative to say you're going to need this intense care, you're going to need this special care? Exactly. Like, how do you figure out those damages?
It's a good question.
And how do you prove? Here's the biggest part, and this goes for guys and girls, right?
Prove
So
it
go
was
both
the
ways.
person.
How do you prove it was that person? There's so many things, especially with something like HIV, which you can get that from having a blood, you could have a bad needle stick, right? Yeah. They don't change a needle somewhere, which, by the way, always make sure they change the needles whenever you're having somebody stab you with something, or take a new needle rather. But I mean, it's possible you have to eliminate all those other possibilities to prove that person gave you that.
Yeah, and in more than civil court, it could end you could end up in criminal court if you knowingly infected someone with AIDS, if you knowingly gave someone herpes.
Well, now that's the case. That's the case with the guy in the movie theater. You remember that one, Jeff? I think that was a big scare. Was it the 80s or 90s or something? When the guy was putting needles in the movie theater that like coated in his like he had AIDS and he was like coating them and putting them in there so people get stuck by his AIDS needles because he was like tired of being shamed for having AIDS. Yeah, that was a thing at a point. That was a case at one point. Sort of like the aspirin case where people were like removing the tops on the aspirin and like replacing them with poison, right? Back in the day, which is why they had those safety seals and why you don't use anything without a safety seal because someone would fill
Tylenol scare. Yeah.
I
remember when that was going on. That was pretty weird. I was young when that went on.
It's weird, but it's still scary, man. I mean, that's not okay,
So I mean, like again, from what I was able to piece together, the type of the STD or STI you get, the severity of it, whether the person knowingly had it, if you can prove it, the statute of limitations, all these things go into it. But you could find yourself in court for passing something along to somebody.
I can see it.
So I mean, I guess what we've talked about most of them. What about the final one before we get onto this Clayton Echard update that I wanted to briefly talk about is just the Valentine's Day fail.
Valentine's Day fail? What's a Valentine's Day fail, Jeff?
You have someone that you're in love with. You're in a contract of marriage. You're in a marriage contract with, and you don't get your Valentine's Day present. Does that give you a cause of action? Yeah. Nobody gave me that. You didn't give me anything for Valentine's Day. Yeah. Well,
no,
no, you don't have a cause of action for there's no legal cause of action against you because you didn't give someone a Valentine's Day present, but you got to be careful because you could find yourself as a witness in a court against someone if they're crazy and there's a case that I'm sure there's just more than one. This was the case of Kiara Reed. The alleged motive was anger over her boyfriend's failure to buy her a Valentine's Day present.
Oh, no. That's not good. Yep. Not good.
22-year-old Kiara Reed, she faced a charge of aggravated menacing in connection with Valentine's Day spat that allegedly turned into a life-threatening and knife-threatening situation. Argued with her boyfriend about the lack of a Valentine's Day present about 11:30 p.m. The argument became physical when Reed allegedly scratched and punched her boyfriend. Fearing for his safety, the boy sought shelter in a bedroom and locked the door. Reed, undeterred, got a knife from the kitchen and started stabbing the door in an attempt to get to the victim. According to the sheriff, Reed threatened to kill him and cut him up. So,
all right.
Yeah, be careful of that because you could end up in court as a witness in a criminal prosecution of someone who's attacked you because you didn't buy them a present.
Yeah, it's bad.
So have you heard of the Clayton Echard Jane Doe, aka Laura Owens case?
I have not. I am actually very excited to learn about a new case. I'm always asking, like, what are the cool cases out there? What are cases I should know about? So it sounds like this is one that I'm going to get Law Racks educated.
Oh my Lord in heaven. This is right up your alley. This is right up Valentine's Day alley for a number of reasons. Everybody that's here for the Jane Doe Clayton Echard case, this is it. Just strap on and strap in.
Strap in and strap on, baby.
Whew, where do we even start? This is so crazy. You could not write a movie about this because people would be like, "Oh, bullshit!" Fuck off. Nobody's gonna be watching this.
Is it a case that's already happened, or is it going to happen?
It's one that's it's ongoing as we speak.
It's ongoing. Okay, we got an ongoing situation here, not resolved.
We have a guy named Clayton Echard. Clayton Echard was a bachelor on the show The Bachelor. He was one of the bachelors. After his season got over, he got his real estate license. He was looking to do some real estate work, and a woman who we call Jane Doe because she's particularly litigious. Her actual name is Laura Owens, but we just call her Jane Doe because it's funny, and we don't have to say her name. But this lady, she kind of targets him, and says, "Hey, let's talk real estate." Stuff like that. So they arrange a meeting. She comes over and they engage in oral sex. She gives him a blowy. In fact,
she gives him
a blowy. In fact, it was so good she gave him 2 blowjobs in one night.
2 for the price of 1. Wow.
She got a twofer. And Island says today's the day. Happy tonsil twins due date. Yeah, we'll get there. So she gives him these 2 blowjobs. Oh, thank you, Island. That's awesome. Appreciate that. And days later, I think it was like 11 days later, she calls him and says, "I am pregnant with your twins."
No,
with twins.
Come on, Jeff.
Yeah. And she files a lawsuit against him for child support, visitation, all the things that you sue for when you got a deadbeat dad on your hand. And of course, he's saying, "Well, I would like to see a pregnancy test or something." So she does a pee test, which came back with a very, very, very faint positive line. If I understand that he didn't actually watch her piss on the stick, but she was also taking medication for epilepsy and HGC, which can lead to false positives.
Okay. And we'll explain something. Okay.
And he's not buying that. And there's a reason she chose twins, was because it's impossible, or at least it was up till very recently, impossible to have a paternity test done on prenatal twins because all the fluid is being shared, and they can't scientifically say this fluid came from fetus A and not fetus B, even though they're both from the same source. But but there's one company apparently on Earth that has developed the technology to test for prenatal, like paternal prenatal obligation. So he says, let's have this company do it.
So we have the technology.
Yes. And the first test came back little or no fetal material.
Okay.
He says, all right, let's do another, because they still can't positively say they do a battery of 4 tests. And then they say, here's what 4 tests showed. Reach your own conclusions from the results of these 4 tests.
Right.
The second test, she says, was mysteriously lost in the mail and was never delivered.
Oh, did the dog eat it?
Apparently, somebody ate. Somebody ate the baby. The third test came back little or no fetal material, little or no fetal DNA, and this was well on in the pregnancy.
Okay.
She refused to go through the process a 4th time. She refused to do the fourth time. And during all of this, he learns of another case where she's accused another guy of getting her pregnant with twins. Again, the twins, because they can't deny the paternity because there's no test for it. And she is literally accusing him at the same time she is involved in a lawsuit with this other guy who allegedly got her pregnant with twins. And this was last November. There's this great video. She didn't realize that her court hearing was being Zoomed and that anybody had access to the Zoom deal. She thought it was a private hearing.
Oh, no.
She's got this Meghan Markle fake moon bump thing going. And at like one point she asked the judge, "Can I show you my pregnancy?" And the judge's like, "No." And then like she's uncomfortable sitting. She stood up for an hour and a half. Hour. She's supposedly around what? I think it was 4.5, 5 months pregnant at this point in time. She's standing up for the entire hour and a half hearing, guzzling Monster energy drinks.
Okay.
Which no pregnant woman in their right mind is going to
ever do.
Yes. And even if they were, they'd be going to the bathroom every 6 seconds. And no pregnant woman is going to stand up for an hour and a half for any reason ever. But at one point she's uncomfortable sitting down. So she like adjusts this fake belly so far that like went up over one of her tits. So she's like adjusting this. And this was all caught on camera. And she was freaked out about this. And a guy that covers Bachelor shows, he's like, he has a YouTube channel. David Neal's his name. He does these Bachelor channel reviews, the episodes of The Bachelor. Sure. He starts talking about this. She sues him for defamation, tries to get a restraining order against him, and it doesn't work. But while they knew about this guy previously, so Clayton Echard got the previous guy's lawyer. So the same lawyer is representing Clayton Echard and the previous guy. And I think it was at the same hearing. It was either the same hearing or another hearing where she had the fake baby bump. She accused the previous guy and his lawyer of drugging her and raping her.
The lawyer,
in court. Yeah, she wrote a letter to the judge saying that the defendant and his lawyer drugged her and raped her.
Man!
But while they're doing this, they find out. Up to this point, they found out they're not the only two. There's a third, a fourth, and possibly a fifth person she's accused of doing this to.
Oh no!
And now we're 6 months into this. We've passed the 6 months. She said, "I'm 24 weeks pregnant, absolutely by him." And she's filed all these lawsuits. He's filing to get him dismissed. And there's all this legal back and forth. And she's gone through 3 lawyers, I think. And another lawyer hits the road. A new lawyer comes. And the day that new lawyer comes, suddenly she's no longer pregnant and wants to dismiss the lawsuit.
What a miracle. What a Christmas miracle.
Yeah. She's like, the pregnancy, she's no longer pregnant. Oh, and by the way, she's never said how she got pregnant. She just says intimate encounter. He says, "Yeah, I got a couple blowies that night." But she only says intimate encounter.
It's a casual couple blowies,
She won't say how she got pregnant. She won't say what they did. And there was a sonogram where she submitted this sonogram as evidence, like a moving set of twins. But it was very quickly found out. She literally just stole a 7-year-old video from YouTube of somebody else's twin sonogram. I mean, like you just put them on top of each other and they're identical. But she put her own name on the top, and she put a timestamp, and the timestamp didn't keep going, although the video was moving. So she's got real arts and craft skills. And I mean, this shit, it just keeps getting weirder and weirder and weirder. And finally, she just says, "Okay, I'm not pregnant anymore, and I want to withdraw my lawsuit." And he's like, "Oh, bitch, please, no."
Well, no, you've already crossed the Rubicon here.
Yeah, so he's like, "I want a declaration that 1, you were never pregnant, or 2, you were, but I wasn't the father. And until I get that, there's no way I'm letting you out of this lawsuit."
Yeah, not unreasonable at all. Not an unreasonable ask at all whatsoever.
Yeah, and so now they're fighting. He's like, I'm a public figure, and she's like, I'm not a public figure. And she's suing everybody. She's harassing. I didn't even get a nasty gram, so I kind of feel bad. But
she's is she coming after? Is she coming after YouTubers?
Yeah, she filed this lawsuit against Dave Neal, who just got, oh my fucking hell, Dave Neal, the guy who does the reviews. He's got a YouTube channel.
Sure,
he was sued for the defamation and whatnot. He signed an agreement, and it was basically stipulated like, I'll withdraw my lawsuit if you agree to not have anybody threaten me with physical harm. So it's like, all right, that's like saying, I won't murder you. So, okay, fine. I'll sign it just to be done with it. So I don't have to do it. I don't want to do it, but family considerations. He's got his wife 7 months pregnant. He's like, all right, you got better things to worry about. I'll sign it.
Stay the hell away from me. Yeah.
So hours after he signed this agreement saying that she would withdraw the lawsuit if, on the condition that he not have anyone threaten her with harm. Suddenly, this guy, she has an email from a guy who threatens her with harm. And he said, he sent her. So she's not letting it go. This was hours, not days, hours after the settlement agreement was signed.
Oh, yeah.
And it's ongoing. And there's a hearing coming up on the 27th. Oh, and by the way, today was the due date for the babies.
Oh, well,
of course, they were supposed to be Valentine's Day twins.
Oh, what a magical day.
But where she really fucked up is that at the 24-week mark was when she said she was no longer pregnant. She's in Arizona, and Arizona, if you lose a child after 20 weeks of pregnancy, it's considered a viable birth, and you have to fill out death certificates.
Oh, okay.
So he's saying, show us the death certificates for the 2 fetuses, where if she does, there's the problem. But if she doesn't, she's essentially breaking the law and could be charged with murder. So she's fucked up by waiting too long.
That's so bad.
And this is ongoing, and she's not letting it go. Now she wants.
Where's she getting this? Where's she getting all these resources to come after people?
Her father is a rich radio guy.
Okay, I was like, there's got to be a rich. You know what? Yeah. Isn't that?
Megan Fox is not defamation. It was
Courtney
harassment.
Clooney too.
Yeah, for harassment.
Guess who was the person who's enabling Courtney Clooney? I mean, we saw it with Courtney Clooney, right?
Yeah, it was her parents.
Who got just pulled in for tampering with evidence?
See, that was the whole weird thing.
Who was on the phone in all those videos? And I showed the video. Yeah. You can see in the phone it says dad.
Moms and dads. Well, we saw that in the first hearing where dad was the money manager for his daughter's only. That's just gross.
It's creepy. It's disgusting, but it's reality, and we need to acknowledge that stuff is going on, because if we don't call it out and we don't say this is what is really going on, then it's going to be allowed to continue. It needs to be shamed. Shame is definitely necessary here.
Well, I want to wrap this up with the latest motion that was filed in the Clayton Echard case.
Sounds good.
This was just filed, just newly filed on the 6th. And this is in the matter of Laura Owens. Dave Neal kind of does. He redacts, has all this stuff redacted just because he doesn't want to deal with shit anymore. But this is the motion to continue trial.
Okay.
And to get additional trial time. I think it was originally scheduled for a very, very short trial. He wants more time. This will let you know how some of this shit gets weird. Now we can skip through all the initial bullshit. As repeatedly stated in respondents' prior filings, petitioner has and this is the lawyer who was also representing the previous guy, so he has a good sense of humor about it. This is some good lawyerly writing. Has wantonly and willfully failed to provide any Rule 49 disclosure. Oh yeah, she hasn't disclosed a single fucking thing to any request for production, and refused to attend. Oh yeah, she just didn't show up to a deposition too.
That's fun.
And Andrew, I mean, we can talk about this for hours, but I don't want to get too bogged down. She also did one of these. I will withdraw my lawsuit, and I will give you full discretion and full decision-making power over what happens to these twins if you will sign a contract and agree to date me with romantic intent.
What are you? Oh no!
Are
you serious?
Seriously? Oh yeah. she's like, yeah, she
That's
was like,
nuts. Jeff, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
oh, definitely. Yeah. If you will sign
How
a
do you
contract.
what's the legal standard for with romantic intentions? How do I judge that in the court of law? Tell me, Jeff. How do I do
Yeah,
that?
she said even if we don't have sexual relations, it has to be with intent and a real. It's fucked up. This
You
is
gotta
the
have
most
sex
fucked
with
up
intent.
thing. It was.
What's sex with intent? I don't get it.
Well, you
Tell me what that is.
don't have to have sex, but it still has to be in a relationship with
Oh.
intent. So it'd be. Oh, and he's sending her things like you know how good it is because and she was basically admitting she'd only gave him a blowy with one deal. It's like you'd know how good it was if you felt how tight my pussy was. And so, this is a woman who's pregnant with twins.
Wow.
Yeah, whatevs.
Yeah.
Annie here. So she petitioners further refused to sign a fetal death certificate or basic HIPAA release related to any form of medical care she testified to receiving for her alleged high-risk pregnancy. Notwithstanding this conduct, respondent appeared at petitioner's noticed video deposition at her most recent. She didn't show up for her own deposition, but she showed up for his deposition, which is kind of weird.
That's also weird.
Yeah. The issues of sanctions and attorney fees cannot be adequately adjudicated without disclosure and discovery from petitioner, including the opportunity for respondent to depose a petitioner. Again, petitioner video disposed in 2024 after intentionally failing to appear at her own properly notified deposition. Okay, as for his motion to continue, respondent states as follows. On August 1, 2023, petitioner initiated the underlying action where she filed her petition to establish paternity, legal decision-making, parenting time, and child support, alleging she was pregnant with respondent's twins after one night of oral sex. Respondent maintains, yeah, it was a good night. It's been not so good since then. Respondent maintains that this alleged pregnancy was a hoax/con, much like the previous litigated matters involving petitioner and other men similarly situated. Here, as with prior matter, petitioner faked medical records as her supposed proof of pregnancy. This time, petitioner chose a television personality on which to perpetrate this fraud and not only faked the pregnancy, but attempted to extort him to date her in exchange for an abortion of fictional twins.
Wow.
I love this lawyer's writing. Respondent
It's all factual though. The crazy thing is it's just stating a fact. It's not, there's no gloss on that. There's no nothing else.
Yep.
That's stating a fact.
Respondent refused to date petitioner, who then continued to promote the false narrative that she was pregnant to the media and the court system, including during the subsequent injunction against harassment proceeding, where she appeared on video in court wearing an ostensibly fake pregnant stomach and asked Judge Gillett Skeksis or whatever the name is to allow her to show respondent she was pregnant. She then continued to contact media, including all of these great names: The Sun, Reddit, Medium.com, podcasters Dave Neal, and Reality Steve, etc., furthering her entirely fraudulent fake pregnancy narrative. On October 21st, respondent filed his answer denying the petitioner could scientifically be pregnant with his twins after they engaged only in oral sex on May 2023. Petitioner seems to acknowledge that no sex occurred in her bevy of 500 emails and texts, which resulted in the judge granting an injunction against harassment against the petitioner after a 2-day trial on the same. So he gets the restraining order against her. Nearly 7 months have passed since petitioner initiated this action, during which no disclosure has been provided by petitioner, despite the requests made to her numerous counsels in accordance with Rule 49. Petitioner has willfully and wantonly failed to comply with Rule 49, which provides in part, unless the parties agree in writing, as otherwise every party must have disclosure. On January 17th, 2023, petitioner failed to appear at a properly noticed deposition. Should be 2024, I believe. Notably, respondent appeared and cooperated with petitioner's video deposition on February 2nd, 2024. Respondent is unable to fully and meaningfully present his argument, for which he should be awarded attorney's fees and sanctions, and a finding that the petition was filed in bad faith against the petitioner without disclosure from the petitioner. She seems to know that after the myriad of conversations had with petitioner's attorney, and is flaunting her failure to provide the same. Petitioner's convenient claim and efforts to get the case dismissed without full adjudication by now is saying she is no longer pregnant. This does not indemnify her from providing disclosure and participating in discovery in accordance with the rules. So he's like, bitch, please, it doesn't matter whether you're not pregnant. The case is still going and you still have your disclosure responsibility.
Right. That does not remove you from any of that.
Yep. To date, petitioner has provided no verifiable proof of pregnancy by respondent. The foundational basis of her original petition to establish, and despite her invocation of Rule 2, if she did have a miscarriage, seemingly impossible, as she could not have been pregnant from oral sex, it does not explain her under oath testimony with judge, where she displays her pregnant stomach and confirms in her testimony that she is not only pregnant 24 weeks at the date of testimony, but under the care of multiple medical providers for her high-risk condition. Simply said, petitioner's pregnancy was faked. The bump displayed in the judge's courtroom was ostensibly purchased, as evidenced by petitioner clearly adjusting what appears to be a fake belly and guzzling a Monster Energy drink.
The guzzle.
Guzzlers.com. Curious for someone claiming to have a high-risk pregnancy. Her entire petition was predicated on either lies or delusions and minor prior litigation involving Ms. Jane Doe and a growing list of other victims. At least 3 known men, including respondent. Respondent has complied with, damn it, God damn it, go away, blue screen. I hate that. All right, there we go. Respondents complied with all requests for disclosure and participated in a video deposition required by the rules requested by petitioner. Petitioner has provided none and continues to flout the rules. There's good cause for a continuance given the wholesale lack of disclosure, as no disclosure has been received in relation to any claims made by the petitioner, including the original claim of paternity on which the underlying matter was filed. Respondent has been left with an incomplete picture of the full extent to which petitioner's baseless accusation. See, I like this argument that how can we decide sanctions if we don't know the full extent of what happened?
Right.
I like that. Yeah. We have to explore all of it. We have to have proof of exactly what happened before we know what sort of sanctions that we're entitled to. That's a brilliant argument.
Very good argument.
Respondent has been patiently waiting for petitioner to provide any disclosure for over 7 months. It's been going on for 7 months. They've tried to facilitate the disclosure, but to no avail. And as such, the continuance at this stage is appropriate, and respondents has made diligent efforts to avoid having to file a motion to continue, including several discussions with petitioner's attorney. Neither party will be prejudiced by continuance. This continuance is sought in good faith and not for delay, as respondent needs access to critical disclosure in order to properly litigate. As for this motion and additional trial time, respondent states as follows. The evidentiary hearing for the court, currently scheduled for 2/27, is set for 45 minutes. This allows each party less than 25 minutes each to present their arguments for issues of sanctions and attorney's fees. This case has been ongoing since August 2023. The issues are not limited to the following. Petitioner's bad faith bringing the underlying paternity action despite not being pregnant, as was impossible from oral sex. Petitioner's factual contentions, assertions of pregnancy not supported by any verifiable evidence from the onset of the action. Petitioner's wholesale refusal to participate in discovery and disclosure. Her repeated filings, including a motion to dismiss once she alleged she was no longer pregnant, being unsupported by existing law. Petitioner's unreasonable behavior throughout this matter, culminating in the motion for sanctions. Her continued perpetration of a fraud upon the court, including falsifying medical evidence. That was the sonogram. And I think a couple of other things she used her arts and crafts powers on. Yeah. Petitioner's appearance in separate court proceedings and testimony that she was 24 weeks due on February 14th, 2024. Happy VD, everybody.
Happy VD.
And being treated by a high-risk pregnancy, her failure to appear at a properly noticed deposition, her unreasonable behavior justifying respondents' request for reasonable attorney fees, and other false and fraudulent behavior revisited in every filed motion pleading in this matter pursuant to Rule 26. It can't be addressed in 25 minutes. We want an additional 75 minutes for a total of 2 hours. So they want an hour each. So they request to vacate the hearing, to give 60 days continuance, and to have the hearing at least 2 hours, and to order this relief. Let's see if there's any good attachments. Probably not. None of the verification. Exhibit 1. What is this? Okay, this is from lawyer to court. Oh, yeah, Corey Keith. These are the other lawyers. It was nice seeing you on Friday. Since we've not received any disclosure from her, the RFPs remain outstanding. The HIPAAs have not been executed. The fetal death certificates provided, also ostensibly not executed, and we still need to depose her after she failed to appear at her deposition. We are going to file a motion to continue and request for additional trial time. I assume you agree, but let me know so I can note it in the MTC.
I love lawyers' communications. Getting to see those is a real treat.
Yeah, well, see, the last motion that they went through was really good because it was the new lawyer, and Clayton's lawyer sent this. Okay, you this is what we've got going on, and the reply from her lawyer was, it was basically that lawyer like, I know I've got a really fucked up. He said, I'm sure you can appreciate the unique situation I find myself in,
which means. My client, this situation with my client's completely fucked, right?
And I can't. Christ, what have I gotten myself into?
Yeah.
And I really hope that we'll be able to work together amicably in relation to other matters in the future, and that it won't be tainted by this guy. It was just this total cover your ass letter from her lawyer. It was
because you've got to send it. You've got to send it, because I mean, at a certain point, look, we all got to work together, and you got to work together again, and yeah, it's going to make it difficult.
So that's the case of Clayton Echard and Laura Owens.
Wow.
It's been ongoing for months, and I know you guys don't see eye to eye, but I was like 2:30 in the morning. I get this text from Megan Fox, like, holy shit, read this fucking thing, read this, holy shit. And I'm like reading this going, oh my, this is not real.
That's
like, this
crazy.
Motherfucker is not real. And that's why
it's that girl really overplayed her popularity. But yeah, no, that is an unbelievable situation, right? And by the way, that was an excellent summary. I mean, I clearly understand that after like 15 minutes.
Andrew, can you fix her?
I can fix her. Give me. No,
the
don't
fake
try to.
Belly was later adopted by Angelina Jolie.
I think about what was that movie? Was one of the Oceans where Julia Roberts wears a fake belly?
I've never seen any of the Oceans movies.
None of them.
I like the original Brat Pack Oceans 11. So
yeah, it is really good. It is really good.
I never watched the remakes.
Okay, I understand. You know what? That makes sense. I mean,
it's totally irrational, but I just hate remakes by and large.
No, I actually understand that. I understand that.
All remakes can't be Dune,
No, they can't be. I'm really excited for that.
She gave birth to a lawsuit. Yeah, so I mean that's essentially where we are. She wants out, and Echard's like going, "Yeah, no fucking way, I'm letting you out of this."
No, you got to finish that. No, at this point, there's making somebody, like the concept of making people whole and making fixing the wrong. Yeah. There's a wrong that's been done here to this man. This is an injustice, right? So like we're laughing about it. We think it's funny, but it's not funny though. Like this person's life has been made a hell. And at some point there needs to be justice to correct that.
Yeah. I mean, what do you do? You can only do what he is doing. And
he's doing everything he can do. He's doing everything he can do, right?
And it's like, my medical records are private. I can't do all and like I had to do let's have a fair and balanced discussion about it first, because I had Dave Neal, the guy that she just sued for harassment. I had him on my show just to kind of go over this with me. And you have to we have to look at both sides. But of course, she was batshit crazy from square one. Right. But I said, okay, look, we've had your side of the story. Thank you so much for sharing Clayton's side of the story and your side.
Right.
Now, I'll give her 2 hours to come here to show any evidence she wants. I'll give her equal. Of course, I never heard from her. So,
Of course not. Of course not. Right. Of course not. That's never going to happen. Yeah.
This would be the easiest thing for her to prove. Here are my medical records. Mm-hmm. If you got them, and if you wanted all this support, if you wanted all this shit, why wouldn't you do it?
It's easy enough. It's easy enough to prove.
So, I mean, careful, dudes. That blowjob can be more than just a blowjob.
It could be a life job.
Yeah. I mean, God, can you imagine if he wasn't that strong of a guy? I was like, oh my God, I don't know how it happened, but But oh my God, you got pregnant somehow? Like, yeah, be like,
I gotta man up, right? That's what I tell us all,
yeah.
right? We all gotta man up, right, Jeff? We gotta man up and take care of those twins that don't exist.
Yeah, well, we've been calling them mouth twins and Schrodinger's kids and mouth conceptions. We've been having fun with it. Tonsil twins is
not that wrong. Tonsil twins I liked. I saw that one in the chat like initially, and I was like, I can get down with tonsil twins.
Yeah, tonsil twins is kind of the running one. I kind of like mouth conceptions about pregnancy, but that's just because
it's pretty good. It's pretty good
because I thought of it. But yeah,
you thought of it.
Yeah, I love that Legal Advice keeps saying the word ongoing without knowing that is Laura's term. Yeah, she keeps having this ongoing pregnancy. Yeah, it's been ongoing through 5 fucking guys. What's in the box? Not twins. At least not hers. We're coming up on the 2-hour mark here on Valentine's Day.
Oh,
it's no longer Valentine's Day here, and lots of people over
still
there.
Valentine's Day. I got an hour for love, guys. I got an hour for love. There's still a chance for old legal mindset.
And all you on the U.S. soil in Europe, you still got a while to work through your Valentine's Day things. And I'm really happy you can make. Like I said, I just threw this out at the last minute. I'm like, I'm talking about this shit. Who else? Who would be better to talk about this than Andrew? And I haven't talked to you for a while, so I sent you.
It's been a while, and you guys, and of course, me. I'm not a panel guy, but I said we're one-on-one. I'm happy to talk about this. Happy to come on and have the chat with you. And frankly, always happy to learn about a new case. And now I know another case of God. This is just bad. I mean,
bad.
Yeah, of course. This is not going to get a trial, right? I mean, there's no merits to this.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is just going to get handled. But I mean, this is wild. This is really wild, truly wild.
It's been insane. I kind of,
and nobody, by the way, nobody expects when you're going to go get a blowjob, you're going to end up in a lawsuit, right? Like that is the last thing you'd expect. In fact, you might be saying, "Hey, I'm safe. I just got a blowjob, so she can't get pregnant, right?"
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, or that was Megan's was fetal attraction. Yeah, that was her term.
Okay. That's not bad. That's not bad.
Yeah, fetal attraction is good. The DCV Titan, thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. It's funny that people take this HCTIB. Oh, bitch. I guess YouTube doesn't let you take this bitch seriously.
You can't say bitch.
Apparently, you can't in super chats. It's weird that you can say things in regular chat, but you can't say them in super chats.
Yeah, it is really weird though. The YouTube's rules are just arbitrary sometimes.
Yeah, I mean these are just weird cases that people get involved in because like, hey, I'll just hook up with a chick and get sucked off a couple times and then holy shit. Well, but then you find it's this weird of a case. And then you find out it's happened to 3, 4, and possibly 5 other people before you. That's why I'm saying you could not write a show about this because people wouldn't watch it.
People wouldn't believe it.
Yes, it's documentary only. This isn't going to be a Hallmark special or anything.
Well, if I said, you could suck somebody off and you could have a girl suck you off and charge you for having twins, and then think, no, you're fucking with me.
Yeah,
right. People are like, Andrew, you're being extreme. You're being a misogynist.
God,
I've got this happened right over here.
Yeah, that's vasectomies.
Well, and once again, is that the defense? I got to enter into evidence, prove your vasectomy, but you'd still be dragged in, right? You'd still be dragged in. You'd have to defend yourself. You'd still have to defend yourself, right? You've got to present that evidence. People are like, oh, I have a vasectomy. I'm like, but you're going to be sued, right? You've got to now show, okay, yeah, I have a vasectomy and it's not possible, right? And
that's just doing that is tens of thousands of dollars.
Yes.
That you're likely not going to get back from her. Her parents are bankrolling it, but they're not on the hook for her legal fees. So he's likely fucked as far as it goes. Best case, he just gets someone saying, you go all full on Maury. You are not the father.
It's true. It's true.
Well, we got through everything we wanted to talk about, which was love, laugh, and lawsuits, the hazards of falling in love, the hazards of lust, and how it all relates to this Valentine's Day thing we've got going here.
It all does circle back. Jeff.
And as you responded to the text. I appreciate that. It was a last minute thing earlier today. I'm like, hey, this would be a fun one to do with you.
Oh, this is absolutely fun, and I'm happy I came, and I'm happy to talk about this anytime. Yeah. Yeah.
So happy you were here.
Yes.
Yeah. And anything else we need to, anything else you want to talk about as far as this goes? Because it's open topics, or we shut it down at the 2-hour mark here.
I mean, any other topic I'm happy to talk about, but this is definitely a lot for me. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, it was a good night. Valentine's Day's over. Yay.
Yeah, it's finally done. Finally done. We're safe. Marked safe from Valentine's Day.
Yeah, pretty much. Just went to work, came home, hung out with the dogs, got ready to do this, and that's about it. Well, what have you got? What have you got coming up on the horizon? What are you working on these days? We know you're like Mr. Disney these days, so you got the Disney.
Oh yeah, no, just more taking it to the rat, more taking it to Disney. Obviously, I had some folks interested in whether or not I should cover VTubers suing each other, suing their VTubing companies. I'm not sure I'm going to do that one or not. Obviously, just like you will, I'll be covering anything regarding Boone or Courtney Clancy. That's going to be updated right as that goes down the road. I'll probably do, I do a regular anime stream. So I just sit down, chill, and watch anime on Rumble. It's my Rumble exclusive. I'll probably do that pretty soon. And other than that, I'm just really relaxing. I will be in Manila next month, kind of hanging out with folks. Cool. So that'll be a really cool experience. And then I think I'm pretty good. It's really been busy here in Thailand. This is high season, so this is the height of when people visit during the winter, when it's really not good weather in Europe and other places. So right now, one of the things I've been doing is helping folks with visas down here. I've been really busy with that. That's been kind of one of the things I've been doing, U.S. immigration and Thai visas, kind of going both ways. So been keeping really busy with that during the day. Have a lot of clients that want that. Also, CD Creek, my comic about the Reedy Creek scandals, the Reedy Creek stuff, that's going to be available very, very soon. Another week or two. I've got about half of the art, so it should be done very soon.
Cool. It sounds like keep. And again, so if anything Disney, this is your man here.
Yeah, I mean, I will stay on it because I never thought that I would be doing that, but when I started covering Disney, I realized every single week they're having a legal or major scandal. And I'm like, I just will become focused on it. Sort of like Tug became focused on Amber Heard, or, other people, Robert Gouveia is focused on, or Robert Gouveia now. He's focused on Trump. Some people just focus on one thing. And I was like, you know what? I'm fine focusing on it. I actually like it. I've been in Orlando. I knew all about the Reedy Creek stuff because that was actually my real job, was doing special districts at one point. So I know a lot about it, and I've now become sort of a random Disney specialist. So I just stay in my wheelhouse and stay on that. I got all the facts of anybody who needs to know about that, everything you'd ever want to know about that. And obviously, I'm happy to hang out and have a good time with my friends like you, Jeff.
Well, and again, those of you that are here, he's the reason I'm here. So blame him for this shit show that I call Legal Vices. Blame him. It's all on him.
This is the best damn shit show this side of the Pacific.
Yeah. Well, and for me, tomorrow we're just about done with OJ. We've hit the highlights that I wanted to hit. We're working our way through closing arguments. It's time for the prosecution's rebuttal, and then we'll close it up. Then we're going to start a new trial, a new retro trial of a 76-year-old guy that allegedly killed his mother and his two stepbrothers in a witchcraft ritualistic murder.
Now
we'll tell you more about that later in a couple of weeks when we wrap up OJ. Then Friday, have you seen this this body cam footage of the cop that freaked out and unloaded 18 rounds into the back of his car?
I have not.
It's on Twitter. It's making its rounds on Twitter. The cop was just walking by his cruiser, and suddenly he screams, "Shots fired!" rolls around on the ground, and then proceeds to unload 18 rounds into the back of his car, and didn't kill the guy in the car. He thought he was hit, but we're going to talk about that on Friday. We're going to break down what really happened, which in a nutshell, so to speak, which is kind of funny that I said that unintentionally. What happened was he was talking. There was a domestic incident involved. He was talking to the female victim, who said, that he's like, does he have any? He was already in the back of the car. They'd already done a cursory pat down, put him in the car, and like, does he have any weapons? Does he have anything? He's like, yeah, he's got a silencer. He's got a gun with a silencer, and I don't know where it is. So the cop goes back to the car to do a secondary check to see if the guy still has this other weapon on him. And in this weird, so he's going back to look to see if the guy has a pistol with a silencer on him. And in this weird serendipitous convergence of this is like Final Destination level shit. It's destined to happen. Just as he gets right next to the rear passenger's side door where the guy is sitting, an acorn falls out of a tree and hits the roof of the car.
Okay.
And he thought that like the sound of the acorn hitting the car was the guy firing a round with a silenced weapon.
Oh,
so he yells shots fired and unloads into the back of this car. Just in the weirdest fucking convergence of events, an acorn falls out of a tree just as he's standing by the door where he's worried about a guy with a silenced pistol.
Really weird timing.
Yeah. And the guy didn't get harmed, but I'm pretty sure he has a little bit of PTSD from that. He was handcuffed and ultimately unarmed. And the cop resigned a year or so after that. So, yeah.
What year was this? What year did this happen?
This was 2022, 2023.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, so we'll break it down, and I found the video where you can see the acorn fall. It's just like this weird thing. So that's what we're going to look at. We're going to look at the investigation report and the video of that on Friday. Hopefully we'll have a new Maritime Monday thing on Monday, and I don't know what the hell I'll do next week. We'll do something. But this Friday, normally I do Friday night streams for US. It's going to do a Friday morning stream because I'm going to go off to Seoul and hang out there for the weekend.
Nice.
Just get out of here. Go back to Shenanigans Bar again and try not to leave my credit card.
Oh, that was a good time. That was a good time in Shenanigans.
Yes, it was. And I'm going to go back for more.
All right. What's the Irish cheers? What's the Irish cheers again? Slante or whatever?
Sláinte, yeah.
Yeah, Sláinte. I can't.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, that's sounds like it's about time to wrap this. It sounds like a Dr. Seuss book. This looks like a good place to wrap up our love, laughter, and lawsuits when lust goes wrong. All right, dog, get your ass out of the camera. There we go. Andrew, Legal Mindset, thank you for being here.
Hey, appreciate it. I love hanging out, man. I'm happy to hang out with you and having a time anytime there's any topic you want to bring me on for. And I'm glad that I could bring my Cupid mindset energy today. Yeah. I hope everyone's day is full of love, of laughter, and of enjoyment.
And no
even
loss.
If it's just loving yourself. And no tonsil twins.
No tonsil twins. And our poll with 500. See, look, there's 566 votes and only 478 likes. Literally 90 of you just fucking cheated.
Come on, guys.
Lame. It's right where we started, almost exactly within a +2 margin of error. 29% of you said Valentine's Day was the greatest day ever. 71% of you said Valentines can eat a giant bag of dicks. That's the end of the poll for this year's Valentine's Day. Make sure you get over to Legal Mindset, subscribe to him, like every single video, the millions of videos he's done, and think about giving me your subscription if you haven't already done so. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you here tomorrow for O.J. Simpson closing arguments, the state's rebuttal. Until then, take care. Peace. Oh, we got one more. Whoa. One more super chat coming from Legally Live right under the wire. $10. Happy Heart Day, Jeff and Andrew. Hey,
appreciate
thank you so much. Thank you so much. And on that note, we are leaving right now. Thank you so much for the support, Legally Live. Appreciate it. Legal Advices, Legal Mindset saying take care and bye, everybody.
Peace.